Okay, my name is Elizabeth Jeffrey with the University of Louisiana at Lafayette, and today I'm interviewing Calice Breaux. Alright, Mr. Breaux. So, I'll go to UL, and I wanted to know where you from. Are you from Rain? Or?
I'm originally from Rain. I was born in Lafayette Parish. We moved to, I always lived out in the country, in Acadia Parish after we moved there when I was 4 years old.
Okay, so you moved from Lafayette to Rain.
Lafayette Parish to Rain, to Acadia Parish when I was about 4.
And how old are you right now?
I'm 73.
What is your middle name, Mr. Breaux?
I'm a junior. I didn't have a middle name.
I gotcha. What are your parents' names, and what are they from?
Daddy's name, like I said, Daddy was Calice Senior, and mother was Amélie Melançon, A-M-E-L-I-E Melançon.
And are you married?
Yes. My second wife, Julia. We live here out in the country, just outside of Rain. Actually, I live in Lafayette Parish again, after about a mile from where I was born.
Ironically. Do you have children?
Yes, I do have. Got 3 children, 2 girls and a boy.
And did they grow up in Rain, or they grew up like?
No, they grew up in Texas. My first wife and I. She was Gloria Moore. She was from Rain, and when the job split out here, I moved to Texas in 1963, and went to work for Market Basket Stores Incorporated, and been there until 2006.
Oh, so you recently came back to Rain?
Recently back to Rain.
Gotcha. And as a child, lived in Lafayette, and currently. As a child, when you grew, how did growing up in Rain, or growing up when you grew up, how was that?
You mean, well, when I grew up, our main transportation was horse and buggy back then.
Really?
We'd come to town in a horse and buggy, and we'd shop at the Claffey Land Store on the main street here in Rain. And one time we had tied up our horse and buggy there on the hitching rail, and we'd gone shopping somewhere else, and we came back, the horse and buggy was gone. Really? And it took them till the next day before they found so some kids had taken it for a joyride apparently, and she was very skittish with trains and cars and all the noise. And apparently when she got skittish, a train may have come by or something. They took off, and she took off in a different way. Anyway, they found her over by the tracks on the south side of the tracks the next day.
Wow. So y'all just had to walk back?
No, somebody had a car that they drove us back home.
Oh, well, that's good.
We only lived about 3 miles out of town, and they were able to bring us back home.
That's good. At least y'all didn't have to walk though. So, what were you for the majority of your adult life? You worked at?
Well, when I got out of school, I worked at Irving Cons, and worked there from 1958 to about till the spring of 1960, when I went to the service for 2 months to get. I was with the National Guard then, and I had to go to cook school, and it took 2 months for that, and I was gone for those 2 months. When I came back, my job had been filled, and I went to work somewhere else here in Rain at Kennedy's, which is just down the street from here.
Did you shop at Mervyn King as a child?
Yes, I did. As a child, Mother and Daddy had an account there where we'd buy. Back then they would, I guess you'd call it grub stake, a family, if they were farmers. If you had a crop coming in, you wait till when your crop came in, you paid them what you owed them for the year at the end of the season.
Oh my God.
And that was one of the things that they did do for you at Marie Cons.
Were your family, were they big farmers, or?
Daddy was actually he was a hired hand. He worked with Mr. Davis Breaux as the farmer. Mr. Davis Breaux had a big farm, and he'd take care of the rice and cotton and such as that, you know. And we did raise cotton too a little at one point, and we did good, I guess, as farmers. As a hired hand, he did all right, I guess.
So you completed high school. You say, where did you complete high school at?
In Rain.
Rain High.
Mm-hmm.
And were you involved in different things when you were in high school? Did you do anything in particular?
Well, I guess that last year of my high school, I was a high school photographer, which
Really?
I guess is my claim to fame. I still walk around with a camera a lot.
Really? All right. Were you involved in any civic organizations and stuff like that? Or church organizations?
No, back then we did go to catechism and such as a child, but we weren't in any organization. I was in the 4-H when I was in school, but I guess that's the only organization I can remember having been in.
Gotcha. I tried 4-H too. And you said you were in the military, you were in the National Guard?
National Guard for 9 years.
Did you have to do anything for that besides, did you have to serve anything?
No, with every year you went for 2 weeks at encampment, and
Did they ever call you out?
At the time I joined, you didn't have to serve any full time, like 6 months like they do now. You joined and you got your training on the weekends and whenever your drill was, night, and during the week, and we'd have weekend firing once during the spring. We'd go in at the firing range and qualify for rifle, M1 rifle, target, and all that. But and I served those 2 months as a cook, as a trainee for a cook, and I became a first cook after that. I was given extra stripe for going.
So what did you do like for fun during those times?
Well,
around the same time that you graduated?
When I graduated, I was a kind of more of an indoor person, I guess. I'd like to listen to old-time radio, and well, then it was, we call it old-time radio now, but it was the thing then, kind of like people watching television now.
What did you listen to on the radio?
Oh, these old shows like Pippa McGee and Molly, and Inner Sanctum, and there was
what is that? Like what?
Pippa McGee and Molly was like a comedy. It's something like kind of like the I Love Lucy type show, but on the radio, you know. And most radio is called the theater of the mind. When the old time radio was, you had to imagine what was going on, and it was a lot of fun to do, listen to. And of course, I was into photography then too, and I did a lot of dark room in the house, and we.
Oh, you had a dark room in your house? Wow. Yeah, you were really into photography. So do you use like the little digital cameras now, or?
Oh, now it's digital, yeah.
Do you like that? Or?
Oh yeah, it's so much easier now.
It's quick.
You can print out your own pictures on your desktop and all that, yeah. Sure can. It's a lot nicer now. You
took pictures like of rain at that time, or what did you take pictures of?
I did take some pictures of rain. I took one of the old city hall here at one time. I made a big 11 by 14 of it, and I took some other pictures around town, I guess. Yeah. And I had taken thinking that back when I was working at Mervyn Conn's. It had snowed one year, and Mr. Leo Conn had. He saw I had a camera, and he asked me if he'd buy a roll of film where I'd go take a picture of his little daughter playing out in the yard down the street here. And so I used up his whole roll of film, and he gave it back to him, and I guess he developed it. I never saw the pictures.
I was wondering, I wonder what those pictures look like.
Yeah. This was a 35mm camera, so similar to anything you'd see now, I guess. But
You had that in the 1950s?
that was in 1960.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, about 1959 or 60. Yeah.
So you kept photography as well.
Yes.
Besides Mervyn Collins, what other things did they have in Rain for you to do for entertainment? Or did they have stuff in Rain for you to do? Like, what did you do, you know?
Well, as a teenager, we had or a young person, they had at the park, they had a little teenage, like a civic center, I can't remember which is what they call it, where the teens used to go and listen to music and dance, and it was at the old park down on what 6th or 7th Street back in there, and we'd go there a lot, and we'd go bowling a lot. Had to go to Lafayette to go bowling, and we had, of course, we had a theater here in Rain at one time. We'd would go to the show a lot. We call it going to the show.
Ooh. How has like the area around Rain changed since you did those activities?
Quite a bit. A lot of it the downtown to me is a lot like it was before. They had but the surrounding area that has grown quite a bit, and the streets have widened, and some of the directions of the streets have changed, you know. But it's basically the same, except like I said, the outer part. The inner part of Rain to me is still pretty much the same, except for the stores that were there are not in business anymore. But yeah, and I hope they keep it this way. You know, it really is nice. The old Mervyn Collins sign on their building and all is real nice. I like it.
Do you recall living in Rain before y'all had air conditioning?
Oh yes.
How was that? We
had no air conditioning until I moved to Texas in 1963. We had screens on the windows, and we could open the windows to keep the mosquitoes out.
It wasn't
And you had
hot?
cross ventilation.
Was it really, really hot, or it wasn't?
We didn't notice it as much back then. I guess we were just used to it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what we did without air conditioning, but we did. But like I say, you'd open up your windows, and you had cross ventilation,
mm-hmm.
and you could, at night it was comfortable, to me anyway. We did have fans in some cases later on, but like I say, air conditioning. We bought one window unit. My wife and I bought one window unit when about 1963 or 64 when we moved to Texas.
Another lady I interviewed.
And that was for the bedroom.
Not for the rest of the house.
Not for the rest of the house.
Another lady I interviewed, she said it wasn't so hot because there wasn't so much pavement and asphalt.
Could well be that.
That's what
too,
she thought.
Yeah.
She said, I don't think it was just as hot.
And I think too, your body adjusts to certain things. And the older you get, naturally, the more you're affected by heat and such as that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But we just didn't realize how well off we are now.
When did, now, for your entire lifespan, you had television, right? Or no? It wasn't a big thing?
No, we didn't get television until after I got out of high school, which was, we graduated in 58, and I think a year or so later while I was working at Mervyn Collins, we bought a television.
How was that? Was it exciting, or was it just like...